As we've been reporting, it's emerged that the weapons used in the Saudi airstrike, which killed 40 children as they travelled on their bus to school in Yemen, may in part have been manufactured in Scotland. Munitions experts claim the missile guidance system may have been made in Glenrothes, home to a factory owned by the US defence giant Raytheon.
Well, the revelations have sparked calls for the Scottish Government to rethink its relationship with the arms manufacturer after it emerged that the company had received close to £200,000 of public money in the form of grants from Scottish Enterprise. Speaking earlier on the programme, defence analyst Tim Ripley spelled out the dichotomy.
The British government openly supports the Saudi Arabian campaign in Yemen. It says it's authorised by the United Nations. It says it's helping peace and stability in the Middle East, and it authorises arms sales to Saudi Arabia. So the issue really is the Scottish government. You could accuse them maybe of being cakeist. They want to have their cake and eat it. They want to have the jobs. They want to have the investment that come from Raytheon being in the UK. But are they also, they're not very happy at what actually comes from that?
Well, I'm joined now by Jamie Hepburn, Minister for Business, Fair Work and Skills. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming in. Tom Ripley, they're accusing you of being cakeist. The Greens have accused you of stomach-churning hypocrisy. What's your response?
Well, our position's very clear. There are two issues here. The first is, of course, the export of munitions to Saudi Arabia under export licences. That's not something, of course, the Scottish Government controls. That's the UK Government that dictates that determines that.
Which you've condemned.
We have condemned it. We condemned it unreservedly. Indeed, my party has, I would argue, been leading the way in calling on the UK Government to cease the granting of export licences for the export of munitions to Saudi Arabia, particularly in the context of the appalling scenes we're seeing in Yemen right now. And that's a call I would reiterate here and now. It's something we do not believe should be happening, and indeed if we had control over these matters we would not be granting those export licences.
So you've accused Theresa May of being complicit in killing children in Yemen, yet public money is going to a company in Fife which is making components which make up the bombs which are killing children in Yemen.
Well, again, we've been very clear. The investment we make in the sector is not for the production of munitions. No Scottish Government funding whatsoever goes towards the production of munitions for
but
use.
How can you tell?
Here.
How can you tell that the money that you're giving, which is going into something like marketing or something like that, it's going to promote that company, which again makes these weapons or makes the components which go into the weapons, which are killing children
with respect,
in Yemen?
It's not going to that area. It's not going to promote the company. It's about diversification. It's about ensuring that companies can have new areas of work. So, for example, one of the areas that funding has led to is ensuring collaboration between the company and Strathclyde University for research and development projects into commercial aviation. I reiterate, commercial aviation. So this is a sector that supports many thousands, employs many thousands of people across Scotland. Of course, what we want to do is make sure that they're seeking out new markets that aren't based in defence.
The money is not huge, but why should any public money be going to a company that makes or has annual revenues of about $25 billion? Well,
of course, this is a company that's a critical employer in the Fife area. We know that the Fife economy has been suffering significantly in recent times. That's why we've stepped up to the plate.
But the company isn't if it's making $25 billion in revenues.
Of course, the point is that it's a significant employer in Fife.
So would have sticks? Would it without your?
It'll have sites across the world, not just across the UK, not just here in Scotland, and where they want to diversify, as they have been very clear they want to do. We want to support them to be able to do that here in Scotland, to take advantage of opportunities, as I've said, in terms of commercial aviation and a whole host of other opportunities such as renewables, oil and gas, the other transportation, air traffic control, weather radar.
If you're clear it's going into diversification, then that's one thing. But really the signal that you're sending is you're supporting this company, which you will accept makes components, makes these precision guidance components, which go into these paveway bombs, which are then used, as has been identified by the likes of Amnesty, in places like Yemen where civilians are killed. You're clear about that, are you? And you're quite relaxed about that.
And of course we have, and I've already this morning made very clear that we do not believe the UK government should be issuing export licences to Saudi Arabia.
Should you be supporting in any way a company that's involved in this, though?
Well, of course, the issue is we're not opposed to the defence sector on an existential basis. Now, some people might be that's for them to come.
The Bairns Not Bombs, which we hear uttered from many in your party.
Of course, that's in respect of Trident, and we're utterly opposed to Trident. In terms of the point I'm making, we're not opposed to the defence sector on an existential basis. The world we live in, it requires countries to have a defence capability. What is important, though, is the framework under which that sector operates. And it's very clear that the UK government is not operating on the basis that it should. It should not be allowing for the export of munitions to Saudi Arabia.
If you're very relaxed about your
relationship, does not have power over that matter. If we did, let me be very clear,
you've got
we would
power
not
over
be issuing those export
what
licenses.
Funds you give to what companies,
That's right.
though. If you're relaxed about your relationship with Raytheon, why did the former business minister, Paul Wheelhouse, carry out what appears to be a secret meeting to Raytheon earlier this year, requesting no publicity whatsoever?
Well, it is a nonsense to suggest it was a secret meeting. Every single meeting, visit, appointment that a Scottish minister undertakes is a matter of public record. It's published.
The company asked if they could promote the meeting on social media. They were told no.
It's published proactively on the Scottish Government website.
They asked if they could take photographs, and they were told no.
If I can finish the point, with respect, we would not be having this discussion right now if the Scottish Government did not publish that appointment, that visit, on its website. We wouldn't be having this discussion because you wouldn't have known about it.
Have you ever been to a company or a school or whatever when you're out doing your job and said, no, you can't promote it on social media, no, you can't take photographs?
Yeah, I've been to a range of visits where some of them will not have been subject to publicity.
But have you said, no, you can't?
I've visited,
have you ever said, no, you can't?
I've visited a range
Have you ever said, no, you can't take photographs or put it on social media?
I've visited a range of organisations, a range of employers.
Could you just answer the question?
I've visited a range of companies, employers.
Jamie Hepburn, thank you very much indeed.
Made public.
Thank you very much indeed for coming in. Jamie Hepburn, Minister for Business, Fair Work and Skills.